Welcome to LiveDaf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Hayomi Maseches TEMURAH Daf Zayin. We begin 3 lines off the top of the Amud. Let's go back and do a chazorah. Yesterday, we learned that if a fellow takes an animal which has a blemish, he takes a balmum and offers it as a korban, it could end up costing him a lot. It could end up generating a series, a whole litany of isurim, 5 transgressions in total. The fact that he's magdish it, the fact that he's shechting it, the fact that he's doing the zrika of the dam on the mizbeach, the haktorah, the complete haktorah, part of the haktorah. And there's another one. Amamar, Mishum Rabbi Yosi, Rabbi Yuda Amru. So Rabbi Yuda was quoted as follows. Here's number 6. Af Kabbalas Hadam. Likewise, the collection of the blood of this blemished carbon generates another Isser. Where's the source for that Isser? My time the Rabbi Yuda. Where's it coming from? Makro. We have another pasuk which warns against offering this carbon, and we apply it to Kabbalas Hadam. So all these blemished animals, leisakrivu, the pasuk continues. The term leisakrivu is applied to zu kabbalas hadam, collecting the blood in a kli as part of the akrava process, which constitutes another transgression. Zu kabbalas hadam sha'amar Rabbi Yuda, which he spoke about. Now the Tanakama disagreed, did not include this item on his transgression list, Tanakama. So what does he do with this pasuk? Hi loy sakri v'lamli. What's the message in this pasuk? It's applied to zrikas damim. It's a lav against applying the blood on the mizbeach. What do you mean? We already have a pasuk for that. We discussed that yesterday. That's learned from the words me'al mizbeach. That's not an extra expression. It's just the way the Torah speaks. Don't put it on the mizbeach. It's not coming to add another element of Yisr regarding Zrika. Hence, Leisakriv is coming for that, unavailable for Kabbalas Hadam according to Tanakama. Now, Rabbi Yehuda, Nami Urche Dekrohu, we assume according to him as well. The words Me'al Mizbeach is not extra to allude to Zrika, it's just a way of expression, so then we are short a pasuk. Einachanami, you're right. You're right that what? That the previous pasuk, Moch v'chasas loisakrivu, in fact relates to Zrika. So where is his source for Kabbalas Hadam? Elo Kabbalas Hadam minoli. How does he know to forbid Kabbalas Hadam of a balmum? Nafkalei meho. He has yet another pasuk for that, which speaks about a carbon of a goy. A goy can offer a carbon, miyad ben nechel esakrivu. And the pasuk warns against accepting a carbon from a goy if it's blemished. So not only from a yid, from a goy as well. Umiyad ben nechel esakrivu, which seems to be extra. Of course, why would there be a difference? So esakrivu in this case is coming to add hi kabbalas hadam sha'amar, which was spoken by Rabbi Yehuda. Hence his source that Kabbalah also generates it is Tanakama. What does he do with this pasuk of the guy? What's the point of this pasuk? It's needed as follows to teach. You cannot accept a blemished carbon from a guy. I would think maybe he's different because a guy is allowed to, in his private altar, his private bama, he's allowed to be makar a carbon to Hashem with a blemish as long as it's not missing a full limb. So perhaps the same exact parameters apply to a carbon that he offers on the mizbeach. Comes the pasuk and says no. What he does in private is his business, but in the mizbeach, you got to follow the rules, a standard system, no blemishes. There's room to consider as follows. The guy were not instructed, were not warned against unless it's missing a full limb. In which case, to do. So you would think there's no difference between their mizbeach and our mizbeach. Lishna mizbeach done. Kamash won't come to the pasuk and says no. By us, it's different. You want to come to the Beis Hamikdash, you got to up the standards. Okay, so bottom line, according to Rabbi Yisrael Yehuda, we have an extra pasuk, the pasuk of Sakrivu, which is stated by the guy to tell you Kabbalas Hadam is asur as well, according to the TEMURAH. No, it's needed for the guy itself. Lish Nachrina, there was yet another version of this discussion. So again, Rabbi Yisrael Yehuda, he says, Afal Kabbalas Hadam, there's an isser for Kabbalah of a Balmum. My time of why? Tachsiv Moech B'chasus. Sakrivu. Sakrivu is an extra pasuk, so Kabbalas Hadam covering this step as well. Zrika nafkele mal mizbeach, to forbid zrika of a balmum, that's from Yal mizbeach. Allah Rabbanan nami tevik zrika mal mizbeach. Well, it would seem that the Rabbanan can also apply the words mal mizbeach for zrika. In which case, it leaves us with an extra pasuk for Kabbalah, like sakrivu. Hachanami, you're right. Ve'elo, so rather, lo sakrivu, the words lo sakrivu of this pasuk, the moch, of the pasuk of moch v'chasis, what's that coming for? If not for Kabbalas Hadam Lamai also. The answer is we have yet another application for that, which uses it up, leaving it unavailable for Kabbalas Hadam. To teach you that a yid who brings a korban in a private altar during the time in history when that was allowed, you should know, you got to have the same standards. You can't have a balmum. Well, according to him as well, wouldn't he need it for that purpose as well? To warn against a balmum and a bamas yach, leaving no pasuk available for Kabbalas Hadam. And you're 100% right. Ella, lo yisakriv the Kabbalah. So how does he have a source for a lav of Kabbalas Hadam? The answer is from that pasuk of the guy, nafkale mi ben miyad ben echel yisakriv. That's the pasuk of the guy, yisakriv, there's Kabbalas Hadam, that's going on Kabbalah. Because to warn against the guy offering a blemished korban, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that's obvious. You don't need a special pasuk for that. The extra pasuk is of Kabbalah. They disagree. They say, look, we need the pasuk for itself. It's needed for the guy's korban, like we said before. There's room to think. Perhaps since in their bama, their altar, they're not warned against bringing a blemished korban unless it's missing a full limb. Perhaps us too, by us in the Beis Hamikdash, the Kabbalah will accept a blemished korban. Kamashmon comes a pasuk kol eila, that we do not accept from a guy if it's blemished. So all the difference between this lashon and the previous is that here we added another halacha of a mas yachid, which was not discussed in the previous Gemara. Okay, let's go back to the main point of the sugya, which is that when a fellow takes a blemished animal and offers it as a korban, he's liable for all those violations. Why be magdashit? Why you be mag, etc. Mask of Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish had a big kash on this. Who says the pasuk is speaking about a case where it was a whole animal, a tam, unblemished, and then it became a balmum. There are two types of balmum. Let's put it this way: we have an animal which had been okay and then became balmum, and then it was magdashit. Then you have a case where the animal was born with a blemish, missing a leg, right? Now there's room to differentiate. There's room to think that when it was a proper animal and became a balmum, so the man is thinking, okay, fine, I got a mum, I'll still be magdashit. Just like I could have when it was a tam, I'll proceed uninhibited by this new development. And his intention is to actually offer it as a proper korban on mizbeach, and that's a no-no. Why are you offering a balmum as a korban? So in that case, he's liable to all these violations. But let's say if it was naturally blemished, so it never entered his mind. That's the way Rashi learns the sugya. To actually offer it as a proper korban, it was nixed from the get-go. It was never even suitable for a moment. So in that case, perhaps he never had that mindset. He did not entertain the thought of actually using it as a korban. So perhaps in that case, his intention was simply for its value. So he's offering it to be used for purchase of a korban. Sell it and buy with it a proper korban. I didn't mean to have this thing put on the mizbeach. No. So perhaps in that case there should be no malchus. That wasn't his intention. That's Rish Lakish's kash. Maskal Rish Lakish. Shemalishin batam. Shinasabama. Perhaps all these violations, all these liabilities, is only when the animal was all complete, and then it became balmum. So he's still on that mindset that it's roifa krava, v'oiver. So now he's in violation for offering it as a carbon, because otherwise it was never really suitable to begin with. It never entered his mind. That wasn't really his intent. Di balmum mikar, if it was balmum from the start, dikla. It's an expression. It's like a palm tree, like a piece of wood, piece of lumber. Balmu, it's just a piece of wood that he's donating for its value. It's not an issue. No. Look at the pasuk, which warns against offering a balmum. Sarua v'kalot. These are natural blemishes. He's got a disproportionate, limbs. He's got, closed hooves. I mean, these are natural phenomena. Ksiva parsha, and that's discussed in the pasuk, which warns against offering it as a carbon. So you see, even in that case, there was a law. V'ania, these are examples of balimum mikarninu, naturally blemished animals. Amar Leis, he says, hold it. Furthermore, shema lo shanino b'temurah. Still, I understand it's naturally blemished, but maybe the violation only applies when he's making it into a temurah. Rashi explains, because when a person offers a substitute to an existing carbon, even if that substitute animal is a fully blemished animal, in which case it doesn't even have the potential to rise to the level of inherent kedusha saguf. At most, it will just have kedusha in its value to be used to purchasing an animal. So actually Rashi says that would, by a temurah, actually it does. You see, in contrast to a regular hegdish, if you magdish something which is blemished, it doesn't rise to the level of kedusha saguf. It's only kaddish for its value, right? But by temurah, Rashi points out it's different. By temurah, the substitute, even if it's a balmum mikara, meaning before you designated a substitute, it was already a balmum. Don't think the kedusha that now applies to the temurah is limited to kedusha's damim, just its value. No, it actually gets some sort of inherent kedusha as well. So even if you're going to go redeem it, the animal still retains residual kedusha. You can't share it, you can't work with it. And this is based on the pasuk, which says you could even make temurah on a blemished animal. So temurah is different. It's not, when you're initiating a kedusha, starting fresh, it has to be on a proper animal, otherwise. But when you're carrying over an existing kedusha, which sort of extends from the original carbon over to the temurah, even if the temurah is fully blemished, it will absorb a higher level of kedusha, an element of kedusha saguf. So perhaps with the Gemara, maybe over there, if I designated a blemished animal as a temurah, which will absorb kedusha saguf, there I'm in grave trouble, because I'm making something with kedusha saguf, a blemished animal into kedusha saguf, to like a carbon. This nan, as we find it in the Mishnah later, that ironically, in this sense, temurah has greater powers than your standard carbon. It's not chayme but temurah b'zevach. There's a one up, an advantage to temurah over a regular carbon. Unlike a regular hegdish of a regular carbon, you can't apply kedusha saguf to a balmum kavua, an animal with a permanent blemish. But temurah does get applied to that kind of animal. So maybe over there, if he took a blemished animal, made it into a temurah, there he's in full violation of the Isra of Isakriva, because he's taking a blemished animal, offering it as a carbon. But otherwise, if it's a standard hegdish, and he's magdash balmum, who says? Since in any case it's only getting the lower level value kedusha, perhaps it's not included in the Isra. Incorrect. Haven't you heard of Rav Yana? As Rav Yana told us, b'chabura, amongst the chabura, in consensus, nimnu v'gamru. So it was decided. Nimnu means they took account. V'gamru, it was concluded. Basically, this was set up as a halacha by consensus that hamagdish balmum l'gabe mizbeach oiver mishum chamisha shemus. If one is magdish balmum as a carbon to the mizbeach, this is a similar lashon like we had yesterday, right? Oiver mishum chamisha shemus. He directs a balmum to the mizbeach. He's in liability 5 times over. Well, if, as per your suggestion that we're talking about a fellow making a temurah, well, that adds another liability, because temurah itself is an isra, so it's a total of 6, not 5. Apparently, we're not speaking about a temurah. If we're talking about a temurah nami, also a temurah, that's happening, Shisha Havin, it's really 6 violations. The Ikonami love the TEMURAH, he's in violation of the law of TEMURAH. Apparently we're speaking that he's offering a standard carbon, initiating a Kedusha on a Balmum, and hence 5 violations. And only 5. Elamai, so what are you telling me? Balmumi Karai. That these 5 Isurim apply to a fellow who's designating a Balmum, even a natural Balmum. Am I lucky? Why is he getting Malkus? So back to that question, Diklam Balmum is like a piece of wood. He's not attending a real carbon. Amarlei, still Dikla, in contrast to a piece of lumber, Lav Zila Milsa. Lumber is not suitable for the Mizbeach. You can't bring a carbon out of it. So it's not degrading. It's not disrespectful of Mizbeach. By doing so. It's not disrespectful. Lav Zil Milsa. I mean, Eitzimhu. Wood is wood, right? Nothing wrong with donating the wood to be used for purchase of a carbon. Wood is wood. So there's nothing improper about it. There's nothing disrespectful about an animal. An animal should be a tam, whole and complete, unblemished. I mean, you're already bringing an animal. Do it right. So from this type, right, of item that you're being magdish, exists a better variation, a tam. And you chose the inferior variety of this category. That's an issue. That's degrading. That's disrespectful. Hence, he's in violation. Balmumi Kara, an animal which is blemished, even born blemished, Zila Milsa, it's disrespectful. Even the Shavik Tamim, since he avoided doing a Tamim, and he chose to offer the Bali Mumin, Mechayiv is Chayiv. L'shnachrin, there's another version, Amalei. He responded, Afil Hoch is still Bazi Milsa. It's a Bezayan. The Dekaleka B'minay, Lalaki. Because in contrast to the wood, there's no other option within the wood family, right? That would be suitable. So offering a piece of wood, by definition, means I'm going to be using it as purchase power for a carbon. Look, there's no malchus there. Lafaki balmum as opposed to balmum, which is an unsuitable animal, and an animal can be suitable for mizbeach, given the ikba minoi, since within this type, meaning you should have offered a good animal. He didn't. Lucky, that's why he gets malchus. Once we've come to this conclusion, the reason for a malchus by a balmum is because it's disrespectful. It's degrading. Says Rava, I want to take it and stretch it a bit further. Suppose a person takes an animal, offers it as a carbon, not for itself. And he specifies, I'm using this to buy nesachim, wine, and right? And that will be offered on the Mizbeach. But what is he offering? As material to be used to purchase a balmum. That's also a problem. Nami Loki also gets malchus. And Rashi explains, what's the chiddush? So Rashi on the bottom line says, Afilu akdish lebin nesachim. Da'ashta leke bezoyin kol kach. It's not such a bezoyin. She'enu b'mina rila nesachim. Because an animal is not suitable for nesachim, so inevitably he's not intending to offer this. Rather, this will be used for purchase of that. So what's the issue? Furthermore, it was never kaddish for itself, it's just for its value. So he's not like offering something bad, a bad nesachim. This is not nesachim, this is just to be used for purchase of nesachim. I feel like it still does malchus, because the fact is, he's offering up an animal, which theoretically is something meant for mizbeach, suitable for mizbeach, and he's offering a bad kind. And Tosfos points out, according to this Gemara, if a person takes an animal, he says, which is found very often in Shas. It works, meaning the value will now be forwarded to purchase of an oila, but he gets malchus for offering up a behema balas mum as hegdish for the purpose of ultimately, being makriv of something on the mizbeach, instead of just taking an unblemished animal, offering it for itself. Tanakh said Rava, right to Rava, that even in this case is malchus. We turn to Talmud Bavli. Nedava tasa oisa. So let's just read the pasuk inside. If you have it on the margin, that's great. It says v'shor v'oseh sorua v'kolot. You have a blemished animal. Nedava tasa oisa. You should offer it as an nedava, which the Gemara learns to mean as bedek habayis, a donation, not for the hakrov on the mizbeach. So offer your blemished animals to the treasury. Okay. Uluneder, and we'll see the Gemara pairs this next word with the previous phrase, meaning whether it's an adava, which is material item based, uluneder, which is a personal obligation, a personal vow. But if it's for bedek habayis, that's great, despite it being a balmum. Lo yeratza, but not as an actual carbon on the mizbeach. And again, it goes back to both variations, an adava or neder. Don't offer it as a carbon on the mizbeach. Lo yeratza, which denotes the carbon procedure as a carbon. No, if it's blemished, don't offer it as a carbon for the mizbeach. So, on the one hand, we have a yes. Do offer it as a donation for the bedek habayis, whether in a dava form or another form, doesn't matter. And do not offer it up as a carbon for the mizbeach, whether in a dava form or another form. Okay? So basically, it's two sides of the same coin. A blemished animal should be donated for the bedek habayis, as opposed to an unblemished animal that belongs on the mizbeach. An unblemished animal should be offered on the mizbeach and not a blemished animal. So take the balmum and send it to bedek habayis. So perhaps this only applies to an adava, where Rashi says he's actually offering the item itself, or a zu, right? This should be kaddish. Neder menayin. What about making a neder? Is that also appropriate? I am, promising, I'm vowing to give a behemoth to bedek habayis. Is that okay? Blemished animal. Neder menayin tamleim l'neder. So the word l'neder pairs up with the previous part of the pasuk. And davat hasayis l'neder. Yochal v'kachim mizbeach. Perhaps you can take a blemished animal, offer it for the mizbeach as well. No, leiratza. That's Rashi says that's for the mizbeach, that hartzah. It's accepted as a carbon, as an appeasement, right? So that refers to a carbon on the mizbeach. Zekach mizbeach. Perhaps the issue is only when he vows on a personal vow. What if it's item-based? So once again, the word nedava goes both ways, and neder goes both ways. And the positive, meaning blemish to the bedek habayis only, and a negative, blemish to the mizbeach, no. So that's the Tanakh. Rabbi's going to add something which to us isn't so obvious yet. Seems like he's simply repeating the words. Rabbi Aimer leiratza means leiratza means that you can't offer it as a carbon to makriv of gufa, the actual carbon itself, which Rashi learns to mean kachim mizbeach, right? Which is simply a repetition of the Tanakama. Do not offer up a blemished animal as a carbon for itself, to put on the mizbeach. Ask the Gemara, isn't he just repeating the Tanakama's words? Tanakama. There must be some sort of point of machlekes. Machlekes revolves around our case of the person who is offering up a blemished animal to be used to purchase nesachim for the mizbeach. So ultimately, the destination is mizbeach, but not this, blemished animal per se. Rather, eventually, to purchase something for the mizbeach. Is that legal? Is it legal to take a blemished animal to be used for purchasing for mizbeach? Tanakama savar afilu agdei shelet min nesachim namilok. Tanakama says even in this case, if it was magdish a blemished animal to purchase nesachim, it's a problem, because ultimately destination is mizbeach, and he's using something blemished for that. For Rabbi Savar, no, the issue is only if the intent is to use this item for mizbeach, but if it's just a means of attaining nesachim, then whether this animal is blemished or not is irrelevant. Rabbi Savar Batzah Skub Vailaki, only if the intent is to actually offer the item itself and it's blemished, that's a problem. But if the point is to buy nesachim with this, that's not an issue. Shmamina. Okay, so we see it's a machlekes, and in fact Tanakama will go like Rava. There's malchus even in this case. Now, once we're on this pasuk, the pasuk mentions the word oisoi. What's the word oisoi? It. What's that coming to stress? What's the message? Look at the sign for the following halacha. So, if up until now we spoke about not offering up a blemished animal for the mizbeach, now we're going to go to the flip side. Yes, offer up a blemished animal for bedek habayis, and do not an unblemished animal. So a complete, whole, tam does not belong being given as a donation to bedek habayis, and that's the message of this pasuk. Yes, for the mizbeach and not for bedek habayis. Each one has its own designation, its own destination. As we learned in the Brayso, this blemished animal should be offered as an adava to the bedek habayis. This blemish should be an adava. But do not make an unblemished animal as bedek habayis. Based on this, we learn there are two separate tracks. If one does offer a tamim to bedek habayis, he's in violation of the assay, as we just mentioned, right? This one, the blemished one, but not the unblemished one, that belongs in the mizbeach. How do we know that there's even a negative violation as well? That's how the parsha begins, and then proceeds to discuss the lav of taking a blemished animal for the mizbeach and the assay of the unblemished bedek habayis. And we learned that there's a lav on both, even on the unblemished bedek habayis, even though we only have an assay, but now we add a lois assay. The word lemar that teaches us ala parsha. Kula, regarding the whole upcoming discussion, including this point as well, the unblemished to the bedek habayis is a no-no, shiba lav. It's covered by a lav as well. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Amalei Rabbi Vakapari asked him, how do you see a lav? Once again, where's the lav? My mashma, how do you see in Davar Shamoy Shalemar? There's a negative commandment. So he says, look, break down the word. Amalei Dechsiv Lemar. That's what lemar means. Loi ne'amar b'dvarim. There's a negative associated with these things. Rabbi's base medrash, they learned a bit differently. Loi emor. Hashem tells Moshe, Loi emor. Tell them there's a loi as well. Meaning that in this situation where the Torah warns against something, but in an implied way, it's called lav abomachlala, say, do this, which implies do not do that. Meaning, do offer up a blemished animal to the bedek habayis, implying do not offer a tamid bedek habayis. And now when the parsha begins with lemar, it's come to re-emphasize and turn it into a lav as well. Itmar. Okay, let's go back to that original halacha, where he's offering up a balmum to the mizbeach. Hamala evor a balmum l'gam mizbeach. So now he's up to the haktorah. He takes the evorim, the limbs of the animal, the balmum, puts it on the mizbeach. Amarava, he's over twice, because as we learned yesterday, there are two separate isurim for complete offering and partial offering. Over mishamat aktiru kula, he's over on that. Umishamat miktasa, for the full and for the part. Amar Abai, no, it's one or the other. Ain't like in a lash clothes. You can't get malchus. You can't get a double lashing for doing basically two elements of the same isur. Right, the Apostle says, Isha lo titnu mehem, the full animal and part of the animal. Well, either or. You can't do the full and be liable for part as well. It's sort of included. Meisvei comes a kasha. So according to Abai, you're not going to have a total of 5 liabilities, because 2 of them were full and complete and complete and incomplete. Meisvei magdish balmum gam mizbeach. A person is magdish balmum and he offers on the mizbeach. He has a series of isurim, 5 in total. That's a kasha on Abaye. He says you can never get to 5. You're right, we're not talking about the same person being liable to all 5. 5 individuals, each one doing a separate act. This one did the hegdish, one isra. The other fellow did the shchita, right? Number 4 did the parshanut-torah. Number 5 did the parshanut-torah. Right? So we're talking about different cases. If a fellow does a parshanut-torah, he gets an isra. In a different case, a person does even parshanut-torah, he gets his own isra. But together it doesn't work. You can't have full and part at the same time. Okay, Iba Gavri. if we're talking about separate individuals, Oiver, why does the Brisa say he is in violation of all five? It's not the same person. Oivrin, many. It should have said many. Obviously, we're talking about the same person. Amar Abai will respond. Okay, how do I get to 5? I'll tell you. Kabbalas Hadam. Remember, according to Reis Yehuda, there's an Isra Kabbalas Hadam as well. Amar Abai apik Torah Smitzasai. Delete the parshanut-torah, v'ayil Kabbalas Hadam, and replace it with the Kabbalas Hadam. Ask the Gemara, but that's only a single opinion. Kabbalas Hadam, that's only Rabbi Yehuda. Isla, only he holds of a lav over there. Tanakama less. Tanakama doesn't hold of that. And clearly, this brisa was a Tanakama, because only later we have, the Reis Yehuda. Kasha. So that's an unanswered question according to Abai. There's another different version of this kasha. Since Rabbi Yehuda is discussing the Seifa, the next part, Reish Rabbanon, apparently the beginning is the Rabbanon, who do not hold of the Kabbalas Hadam being included. So now, how do you get to 5 if not for parshanut-torah to Abai to Yufta? It's a kasha on Abai. Okay, so in summary, yes, a tamim to the Mizbeach. No, balmum to the Mizbeach. Yes, balmum to the Bedek Habayis. No, tamim to Bedek Habayis. Balmum to the Mizbeach carries many consequences, 5, 6, lavin in total, depending on the situation. Regarding tam to the Mizbeach, that's an asay and a lav as well. Says the Mishnah, Kehanim mimirin b'shelahen. Okay, so back to TEMURAH, where he takes the actual carbon, offers a substitute. Turns out that it doesn't really exchange, right? But the substitute sort of gets latched on and draws some kedusha from the original carbon, and it in itself also becomes kaddish. Now, who has the ability to make a TEMURAH? The owner. Hakehanim mimirim b'shelahen. So the kohen can make TEMURAH on his carbon if he has his own carbon that he designated that he was Yisrael. Mimirim b'shelahen. Likewise, Yisrael can do TEMURAH on his own carbon. But ein hakehanim mimirin loy b'chatas loy b'asham loy b'char. Now, although the kohen will eventually be entitled to part of the chatas after he's makriv it, and the asham, the b'char is given to him as well, but it's not truly his. During the animal's life, he can't make a TEMURAH. He gets the meat from Hashem's mizbeach. That's not his carbon. Okay, but that seems to be more simple regarding the chatas and the asham. What about the b'char? B'char, the firstborn kosher animal, which you give to the kohen as a gift during the animal's lifetime. Why isn't that considered owned by the kohen? Why doesn't he have the ability to make a TEMURAH on that? Why? I don't understand why a kohen can't make a TEMURAH on his b'char, which is granted him by the Yisrael. It's his to own. We have to compare it to the other gifts, the other karbanis, where he's not considered the owner. Here as well, chatas v'asham, matan l'kohen. You have an example of a gift, chatas v'asham. B'char is also a gift to the kohen, matan l'kohen. So we compare ma chatas v'asham ein memirim boy. Just like a kohen can't do TEMURAH by the chatas v'asham, a b'char memirim boy. Likewise, the b'char can't make a TEMURAH. How do you compare? How do you compare the two? It's a world of a difference. Ma loy or ma li. I understand why the kohen can't generate a TEMURAH by the chatas v'asham. Shein zachan ben b'chayin. They don't have any acquisition. They don't get it during the animal's lifetime. Right? Yisrael offers up a chatas, the kohen processes it. As of yet, he's not the owner. And only then, after the dam and the aktorah the mur, and then he gets a part of the basa to eat. He's not a lifetime owner. The kohen owns it during the lifetime of the b'char. Once it's given to him, it's his. Okay, we have a pasuk. Now the pasuk says, just like we have the original animal, we have the TEMURAH kodesh as well. We compare the two. We link them. Where was the original kedusha on the original carbon generated by Beis HaBailam, the home of the owner? Of the Yisrael who generated that carbon of TEMURAH Beis HaBailam. Likewise, if one should choose to make a TEMURAH, it has to be done over there. The original owner, the maker of the hegdish, the initiator of the first carbon, he's the one that has the ability to make the TEMURAH. Once it's out of his hands, the kohen can't take over that power and make TEMURAH. Tanan Hasa. We have a Mishnah discussed in Mesechus Maser Sheni. So we're going to focus on the b'char today. B'char moichin oisay tam chai. Yisrael has a firstborn kosher animal. We'll give it to the kohen. The kohen can sell it if he chooses to sell it, to another kohen. Tam while it's unblemished and meant for a korban, right? So the halacha is that a bechor, if it's still unblemished, it's offered as a korban on the mizbeach. The kohen does so and he eats it that way. Whereas if it gets a mum, then he shechts in his backyard. Either way, it goes to the kohen. Just that tam is up for the mizbeach and mum shecht anywhere. So the bechor can sell his bechor. Right? Yisrael gives him bechor. The kohen can take it and sell. Unblemished alive. Once it gets a mum, whether it's alive or shechted, he can sell it to anybody. Isha, use it to mekadosh a woman, it's his money. Amar Rav Nachman, here comes a big chiddush. Amar Rav Rabu Leishana, when do we say that a kohen has the power to sell a bechor tam chai, unblemished alive, Leishana el b'zman hazeh, only nowadays, when it's not intended for hakrav on the mizbeach? We have no mizbeach. So now it's his possession, he can sell it. Because that gives the kohen power of ownership. It's his possession. When there was a Beis standing, since the bechor tam is meant for hakrava, so although technically the kohen owns it, but it's his for hakrava. It's not his like a regular possession of his. He can't sell it. He doesn't have that element of ownership. It's meant for a korban. It's his korban. That's a huge chiddush. So although we just learned in the Mishnah that kohen can sell a tam chai, that's only bisman hazeh when it's not slated for akrava, but otherwise he can't sell it. Esvi Rava has a question of Nachman from this Mishnah. So he can sell it tam chai. Let's make a diuk. What does this imply for us? Chayin only while it's alive. Shachad, but once it's shechted, he can't sell it. Why? When? How? Where? Amos. What are we speaking? Ilim bisman hazeh. We're talking nowadays. It's a non-existing phenomenon. How do you even have unblemished bechor shechted? You're not meant to shecht it when it's unblemished. You wait for a balmum, so that is non-existent. So evidently, bisman Beis Hamikdash Kaim was speaking when there was a Beis Hamikdash standing. What does the Mishnah say? The kohen has the ability to sell it alive and well. Tamim chai. It's a kasha of Nachman says you can't sell it at that point. We're talking nowadays. And that explains why you can sell it tamim chai, because it's not meant for a korban. Now as to your diuk, well, let's correct that. Miktani, does the Mishnah really say tamim chai in shachaloy? Is Mishnah telling you can only sell it while it's alive but not shechted, to imply that there is a possibility? There is a scenario of having a tam shechted which precluded nowadays. No, we're not trying to imply that at all. Because, right, tam shachet, right, can't take place nowadays, right? And when speaking, yes, it's nowadays. The mission is just meaning to teach us that very halacha without implications, to address that specific scenario. We're talking bisman hazeh, there is no tam shachet, and the chiddush of the Mishnah is the bisman hazeh nami moichnoise tamim chai. That in fact nowadays he can sell it, even though it's tamim chai, he can sell it. That's only because nowadays it's not meant for akrava, but if it's Beis Hamikdash, it's meant for akrava. It's Rav Nachman. It's the kohen's, but it's not for sale. Okay, so let's recap. We have a Mishnah where we learn that who has the ability to make TEMURAH? The owner. Who's the owner? Well, the Israel on his karbanis, the kohen on his karbanis. What about a karban of Israel which is eventually given to the kohen? The chatas v'asham. Well, no, he doesn't constitute the owner. The Israel does. The kohen gets it from the mizbeach. That's not ownership on the actual karban, and therefore there's no. He can't make TEMURAH. What about bechor? Bechor is somewhere in the middle. It started off in the farm of the Israel, but eventually it was transferred to the kohen, who's now the owner. So that generated a machlokes in the Mishnah. Rabbi Yechim seems to say that you can do it. Why not? Whereas the Rabbi Akiva says no, the kohen can't. Based on a pasuk, only the Israel, who was the owner when the kedusha was initiated, he can make TEMURAH as well, as opposed to the kohen. Rav Nachman has a chiddush. Although the bechor tam is given to the kohen, in terms of selling it, That's only Bismanase. All the best to you and Hatzlacha Rabbah.